The airplane cabin was full. Passengers settled into their seats, some chatting, some closing their eyes. The engines roared outside, and soon the plane lifted off into the sky. Among the crowd, a young woman named Anna sat quietly near the window. She wore simple clothes, jeans, a gray sweater, and dark sneakers. Her black hair was tied in a loose ponytail, and her brown eyes stared out the window, lost in thought. But something about her made people uneasy. She wasn't talking. She wasn't smiling. She kept looking around, carefully, almost like she was waiting for something. Across the aisle, a man noticed her behavior. He leaned over and whispered to his wife, pointing at Anna. Soon, other passengers started looking too. "She looks so nervous," one woman said in a low voice. "Is she hiding something?" another man asked. Anna felt their eyes on her, but she stayed calm. Her hands rested on her lap. She closed her eyes for a moment and breathed deeply. Suddenly, a loud voice came from the back. "Flight attendant," the man across the aisle shouted. "I think something is wrong with that woman." The flight attendant, a young lady with a kind face, hurried over. "Is everything all right, Mom?" she asked Anna gently. Anna opened her eyes and nodded. "I'm fine," she said quietly. But the man insisted. "Check her bag. She's acting suspicious." The other passengers started murmuring. Some even took out their phones and began recording. Anna stayed silent. The flight attendant, looking uncomfortable, asked Anna politely, "Would you mind if I checked around your seat, ma'am? It's just for everyone's safety." Anna gave a small nod. "Go ahead," she said, her voice calm. The attendant leaned down and began searching. She checked under the seat, in the side pockets and behind Anna's carry-on bag. And then she froze. Her hand pulled out a small black pouch hidden under the seat, not inside Anna's bag, but underneath the seat cushion. She opened it carefully. Inside were small packets of white powder, something illegal. The flight attendant's face turned pale. Passengers gasped loudly. Some even stood up to get a better view. "I knew it," the man across the aisle shouted. "I told you she was hiding something." Anna stayed still. Her face didn't change. She didn't cry. She didn't argue. The flight attendant quickly spoke into her radio. "Captain, we have a situation. Please alert airport security for landing." Tension filled the air. People moved away from Anna's seat. Some parents pulled their children closer. Others whispered about her, judging without knowing anything. Anna sat quietly, her hands folded neatly on her lap. She looked around slowly, her eyes sharp, noticing every movement, every whisper, every frightened face. But deep inside her, she was thinking carefully, calculating. "They think they have trapped me," she thought. "They think they have won." Her lips moved slightly, almost invisible to others. She whispered under her breath, "You picked the wrong girl." And then, for the first time since the flight started, Anna smiled. A cold, knowing smile. She wasn't afraid. Not even a little. Because Anna wasn't just another passenger. She wasn't a criminal. She wasn't weak. She was something else. Something much more dangerous. And soon, everyone on that plane would find out the truth. The real danger was not the woman sitting quietly by the window. The real danger was hidden somewhere else, and time was running out. The cabin buzzed with whispers and worried looks. The man who had first accused Anna sat proudly in his seat, nodding to the others as if he had saved them all. Parents hugged their children tighter. Some passengers even moved to different rows, away from Anna. Anna remained still, her hands resting on her lap. Her eyes were cold, sharp, watching, always watching. The flight attendant, now nervous, stood nearby, holding the pouch with the illegal packets like it was a ticking bomb. She kept glancing at Anna, then at the cockpit, waiting for instructions from the captain. "Stay seated, everyone," the flight attendant announced with a shaky voice. "We are handling the situation, but fear is a wild thing. Once it starts, it spreads fast. A woman near the front began crying softly. A man 2 rows behind Anna stood up and yelled, "Why are we waiting? She could be dangerous." Other passengers nodded, their faces pale with fear. Anna looked around. She could feel the panic growing. She could almost hear the heartbeat of the airplane. Fast, scared, desperate. She knew panic was dangerous. One wrong move, and this whole plane could turn into chaos. Anna tilted her head slightly, noticing small things, tiny details others missed. Like the man in the gray jacket at the back of the plane. He wasn't scared like the others. He wasn't looking at Anna. He was looking at the cockpit door. And another man, wearing a black cap, kept checking his watch nervously. Anna narrowed her eyes. They are too calm, she thought. Too focused. They weren't worried about her. They were waiting for something else. The illegal pouch was just a distraction. Anna knew it now. This was bigger. Much bigger. Flashback. Anna's training. In a quick flash, Anna remembered her training days. Her mentor's voice echoed in her mind. Distractions are your enemy. Always look beyond the obvious. Always find the real threat. Anna smiled to herself slightly. You picked the wrong girl, she repeated silently. The calm before the storm. The captain's voice came over the speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm. We have a small security situation. We will be landing soon and authorities will meet us at the gate. The words were meant to calm people. They did the opposite. Passengers began talking louder. Someone shouted, "She could have a bomb." Another yelled, "Lock her up." The flight attendant tried to control the situation, but it was slipping away fast. Anna leaned back in her seat, her mind racing. She knew she had to act, but not yet. Timing was everything. She touched her smartwatch gently, tapping a hidden code. A silent signal was sent. Somewhere far below at the airport, a hidden team received her message. They would be ready when the plane landed. But Anna wasn't sure the plane would land safely if she didn't act soon. The first move. The man in the gray jacket made the first move. He stood up and walked toward the cockpit, pretending to go to the restroom. Anna's eyes followed him sharply. She noticed the bulge under his jacket. Not normal. A weapon? A device? Anna's heart beat faster. She stood up too. Passengers gasped. Some screamed. She's trying to attack. Someone shouted. The flight attendant blocked Anna's way. "Ma'am, sit down. Please," she said in panic. But Anna leaned close and whispered quickly, "Listen to me. You are looking at the wrong person. If you want to save everyone on this plane, trust me now." The flight attendant hesitated. Anna's eyes were fierce, full of something powerful. Not fear, but control. Real control. Without waiting for permission, Anna moved swiftly, blending into the group of standing passengers. She made it look natural. She was hunting now. Hunting the real enemies. Closing in. The man in the gray jacket glanced back and saw Anna moving. He whispered something into his hidden earpiece. The man with the black cap stood up too, pretending to stretch. They were ready. Ready to strike. But so was Anna. She reached the man in the gray jacket just as he touched something inside his coat. In one smooth move, Anna grabbed his wrist and twisted it hard. The man cried out in pain. Passengers screamed. The plane shook slightly as the pilot adjusted course. Anna slammed the man against the wall near the restroom. From inside his jacket, a small black device fell out, blinking red. Not good. Very, very bad. The second man tried to run toward them, but Anna kicked the tray cart into his path, making him stumble. The clock is ticking. The flight attendants and passengers stared in shock. They had no idea what was really happening. Anna bent down, grabbed the device, and quickly pressed a code into it. The blinking slowed. Stopped. She sighed, a small, quick sigh of relief. The worst was prevented, for now. But this wasn't over. Not even close. She looked up and locked eyes with the second man. He was not giving up. And neither was she. Not until every single person on this plane was safe. The plane felt heavy with fear. The engines hummed outside, but inside, the passengers were silent, frozen in shock. Some still pointed fingers at Anna. Some clutched their children close. Some prayed quietly. Nobody understood what had just happened. But Anna knew. And she knew it wasn't over. Not even close. The silent enemy. Anna gripped the device tightly in her hand. It was small, black, and deadly. It had almost triggered an explosion that could have brought the whole plane down. She looked around sharply. The second man, the one with the black cap, was moving fast now, pushing past frightened passengers. He wasn't running to escape. He was running toward something. The cockpit. Anna moved too. Fast. Quiet. Focused. She slipped between seats, past the flight attendants who could only stare in confusion. The black-capped man reached the cockpit door, a thick metal barrier that protected the pilots. He knocked twice, a secret signal. The pilots inside didn't know the danger waiting on the other side. Anna's heart pounded. She had seconds to act. Quick thinking. Anna threw herself forward. She grabbed a loose oxygen tank from the overhead storage and hurled it at the man's legs. It hit him hard, making him stumble and fall face-first onto the floor. Passengers gasped. Some cheered, realizing Anna was fighting for them, not against them. The man tried to rise, pulling a small sharp object from his belt, a hidden weapon. But Anna was faster. In one smooth motion, she twisted his arm behind his back and pinned him to the floor. "Stay down," she whispered coldly. The man struggled, but Anna pressed her knee into his back, keeping him trapped. Flight attendants rushed over, helping Anna tie the man's hands with plastic zip ties they used for emergencies. Finally, he was under control. The truth comes out. The captain unlocked the cockpit door and stepped out, confusion on his face. "What's happening here?" he demanded. Anna stood up slowly. Her hair was messy, her sweater torn at the sleeve, but her face was calm. She showed the device and pointed at the two men now lying on the floor, restrained and beaten. "These two tried to hijack your plane," she said simply. The captain's eyes widened. "But what about the drugs?" he asked, glancing at the black pouch still sitting near Anna's seat. Anna shook her head. "Planted. A distraction. To frame me, to distract you, while they took control." The captain's face turned pale. Passengers started whispering again. But this time, their eyes were full of shame, not anger. They had judged her too soon. They had almost let fear win. Anna's secret. The captain looked at Anna carefully. "Who are you?" he asked. Anna hesitated for a moment. Then she pulled out a small, shiny badge from inside her sweater, hidden until now. It read, "Central Intelligence Agency, CIA." The captain took a step back, stunned. So did the flight attendants. So did the passengers. Anna tucked the badge back inside quickly. "I'm not here for glory," she said softly. "I'm here to protect." For a few seconds, there was complete silence. Then, someone from the back clapped. Another person joined in. Soon, the whole cabin was filled with clapping and cheers. Anna smiled slightly, but her eyes stayed serious. The danger was handled. For now. The hidden puzzle. But Anna knew there were still questions. Who sent these men? Why frame her? Was there a bigger plan waiting when they landed? Her mind worked fast, connecting pieces. These men were not random criminals. They were trained, just like her. Someone powerful was behind this. And they didn't want Anna alive. Good luck with that, Anna thought grimly. She wasn't easy to kill. Preparing for landing, the captain returned to the cockpit and announced, "We will be landing shortly. Security will meet us at the gate. Please remain calm and seated." Flight attendants helped move the two tied-up criminals to the back of the plane. Passengers apologized to Anna with their eyes. Some even whispered sorry as she passed by. Anna nodded slightly but kept her guard up. She sat back in her seat, breathing deeply. The plane tilted gently as it prepared for descent. Outside the small window, the city lights glittered below, beautiful, peaceful, unaware of the war that almost broke out above them. Anna stared out the window. She knew this was just the beginning. When they landed, new dangers would be waiting. She could feel it. She could almost hear it. The hunt wasn't over. It was just moving to the ground. The plane touched the ground with a soft thud. Passengers clapped, a tradition for a safe landing. But this time the claps were nervous, weak. Anna stayed seated, her eyes sharp, her mind racing. The two attackers were still tied at the back under watch by the flight attendants. "This isn't over," Anna whispered to herself. Outside the window, she saw flashing lights. Airport security, police cars, and emergency vehicles were already waiting. The captain's voice came through the speakers. "Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. Authorities will come on board for further checks." Everyone stayed still, waiting. But Anna could feel it. Something was wrong. It was too quiet, too easy. Her instincts screamed. Trap. The arrival of the authorities. A team of 5 officers entered the plane quickly. They wore official uniforms, badges shining under the cabin lights. The lead officer, a tall man with a thick mustache, looked serious. "We're here for the suspect," he said, pointing straight at Anna. Passengers turned their heads, shocked. "She's not the criminal," one man said. "She saved us," shouted another woman. But the officers ignored the protests. "Ma'am, stand up. Hands where we can see them," the lead officer ordered. Anna stood slowly. Her face was calm, but inside she was ready for anything. She noticed something. Their uniforms looked real, but the small details were wrong. Wrong badges, wrong shoes, wrong attitude. Real officers would have checked the real criminals first, not the woman who saved everyone. These weren't real officers. They were part of the same plan. Another setup. Anna's choice. Anna had 2 options. Go quietly and get trapped. Fight back and risk the lives of everyone on board. She chose the third option. Smart play. Anna smiled gently and raised her hands. "Of course, officer. I'm coming with you," she said politely. The passengers watched, confused and worried. As the fake officers led her down the aisle, Anna whispered under her breath, sending a hidden message through her smartwatch. "Back up. Now." She allowed them to escort her off the plane. The night air was cool as she stepped onto the runway. Bright lights blinded her for a moment. 2 black vans waited nearby. The fake officers pushed her toward one of them. Anna pretended to stumble, getting closer to the lead officer. In one quick move, she grabbed his wrist, twisted, and pulled his gun from its holster. Gasps echoed in the air. Anna pointed the gun straight at the officer's head. "Drop your weapons," she ordered. The fake officers froze. Real police nearby noticed the commotion and came running, shouting orders. For a second, it looked like a full battle would break out. The real backup. At that moment, 2 black SUVs screeched onto the scene. Real CIA agents jumped out, guns raised. "Stand down," shouted the leader, flashing a real badge. The fake officers tried to run, but it was too late. They were tackled to the ground within seconds. Anna handed over the gun calmly. The lead CIA agent, a woman with sharp eyes and a strong voice, approached Anna. "You okay?" she asked. Anna nodded. "I'm fine, but we need to find out who is behind this." The agent agreed. They moved quickly, securing the fake officers and the 2 hijackers from the plane. The interrogation begins. Inside a secure room at the airport, the captured men sat handcuffed to chairs. Anna stood across from them, arms crossed, staring. "Who sent you?" she asked coldly. The men stayed silent. Anna leaned closer. "You tried to kill innocent people," she said. "You framed me. You think I won't find out who's behind you." Still, no answer. The lead CIA agent entered the room with a small file. She placed it in front of Anna. Inside were photos that made Anna's heart stop for a moment. A man she recognized. A face from her past. Someone she thought was gone forever. "It's him," Anna whispered. "Who?" the agent asked. Anna looked up, her eyes burning with new fire. "His name is Viktor Sokolov, former Russian intelligence. Turned rogue." The agent frowned. "He's supposed to be dead." Anna shook her head slowly. "No, he's alive, and he's coming for me. The bigger game." Anna stepped out into the night, feeling the cool air against her skin. She looked up at the stars. This was bigger than a simple frame-up. It was a message, a warning. Victor was alive, and he wanted her to know it. "You want a war, Victor," she whispered. "You've got one." Her eyes narrowed. Anna wasn't running. She was hunting. And this time, she was ready for anything. Anna drove through the dark city streets, her eyes sharp, her mind racing. The rain tapped softly against the windshield, and the tires splashed through puddles. She was alone now. The CIA backup team stayed behind to handle the airport mess. Anna had something bigger to do, something personal. Viktor Sokolov. The name echoed in her mind like a bad memory. Once, long ago, Viktor had been her mentor. He taught her everything. How to fight, how to disappear, how to survive. But somewhere along the way, he changed. Betrayed his country. Betrayed his people. Betrayed her. Anna tightened her grip on the steering wheel. "I thought you were dead," she whispered. "I should have made sure." The safe house. Anna turned onto a quiet street and pulled into a small garage. Hidden behind an abandoned bakery was one of her private safe houses, places no one else knew about. She opened the metal door, stepped inside, and locked it behind her. The inside was cold, dark, and full of old memories. Weapons lined the walls. Maps covered the tables. Files, pictures, and names, all part of the dangerous life she tried to leave behind. She wiped dust off a folder labeled VS, Viktor Sokolov. Inside were everything she had on him. Old mission reports, photos from surveillance, records of fake deaths and new identities. Anna sat down heavily and opened her laptop. She hacked into a few hidden databases, tracing recent movements. A pattern started to form. Victor wasn't working alone. He had built something, a network. Hidden agents in different cities, ready to strike at his command. Anna's heart beat faster. He's building an army, she realized. And she was one of his main targets. Memories that hurt. As she worked, memories flooded her mind. She remembered her first mission with Victor. A young girl, nervous but brave, following orders, trusting her mentor with her life. She remembered the moment she found out he was a traitor, how it broke her heart. The night he disappeared, leaving her alone in the middle of a mission gone wrong. She almost died that night. Almost. Anna shook the memories away. "This time," she whispered, "I finish what I started." She picked up a gun from the wall, checked the ammo, and tucked it under her jacket. A message from the enemy. Her laptop beeped. An email. No subject. No sender. Anna opened it carefully. There was only one line. "You can't hide from your past, Anna. V." A chill ran down her spine. He knew she would come after him. He wanted her to. It was a trap. But Anna smiled coldly. "Good," she said. "Let's see who traps who." The chase begins. Using the information she gathered, Anna found a location. An old warehouse by the docks. Classic Victor. Dark, isolated, easy to control. She grabbed her bag, her gun, and her courage. Tonight, the past would come alive. Tonight, the real battle would begin. She slipped into the shadows, moving like a ghost. At the docks, the warehouse loomed ahead, giant and broken down. Rusty doors, broken windows, empty crates lying around like forgotten bones. Anna moved carefully. She spotted 2 guards near the entrance, tall men with cold faces, holding weapons. Definitely not ordinary security. Victor's men. Anna crouched low behind a metal container. She studied their patterns, when they looked away, when they moved. Timing was everything. She threw a small stone to the right. The guards turned, distracted. Anna moved left, fast and silent. She slipped inside the warehouse through a broken side door. Inside the lion's den. Inside, it smelled like old oil and damp wood. Moonlight leaked through cracks in the roof. Anna's steps were silent, her breathing slow. Then she saw him, standing in the middle of the warehouse like a king in his castle. Viktor Sokolov. Older now, but just as dangerous. A scar cut across his cheek, a reminder of battles fought and lost. He was smiling, as if he had been waiting for her. "Welcome, Anna," he said, his voice smooth like poisoned honey. "I knew you couldn't resist." Anna didn't move. "This ends tonight," she said calmly. Viktor laughed. "No, my dear, it only begins." Suddenly, more men stepped out from the shadows, surrounding her. Guns pointed, traps set. The odds against her, but Anna's eyes burned with fire. She wasn't scared. She was ready. She wasn't the same young girl Viktor once knew. She was a weapon now. And she was about to strike. Anna stood still, surrounded, outnumbered, outgunned, but not defeated. She stared at Viktor, her heart steady, her mind sharp. "You always liked the drama," she said coldly. Viktor smiled, stepping closer. "It's not drama, Anna. It's a lesson. You cannot win against the past." Anna's fingers brushed lightly against the small device in her pocket, a flash grenade. One chance, one moment. She had to make it count. Breaking the circle, Viktor nodded to his men. "Take her alive," he ordered. "I want her to watch everything burn." 2 guards stepped forward. Anna moved faster than anyone expected. She threw the flash grenade at the ground. Boom! A blast of blinding light and sharp sound filled the warehouse. The guards shouted, stumbling back, clutching their eyes and ears. Anna used the confusion. She ducked low, kicked one man's leg, sending him crashing into another. She grabbed a fallen gun and rolled behind a stack of crates. Bullets flew through the air, cutting through the wooden crates like knives. Anna fired back. 2 shots, sharp and clean. 2 men dropped. No time to rest. But there were too many. Anna knew she couldn't stay trapped inside. She spotted a staircase leading to a higher platform. Quickly, she sprinted towards it, dodging bullets. She climbed the stairs 2 steps at a time, breathing hard but steady. From above, she had a better view. The warehouse was full of Viktor's men, more than she had expected. Viktor himself stood calmly in the center, watching her, not even trying to hide. "Come down, Anna," he shouted, laughing. "You can't run forever." Anna didn't answer. She pulled out a small remote from her belt. If Viktor wanted a fight, he was about to get one. Setting the trap. While escaping, Anna had secretly placed tiny explosives near the entrance and weak walls. Smart explosives, small enough to confuse, strong enough to cause chaos. Now was the time. Anna pressed the button. Boom! Boom! 2 loud explosions rocked the warehouse. Dust and smoke filled the air. Men shouted in fear and confusion. Steel beams groaned and cracked. Anna moved fast through the smoke like a shadow. She picked off Viktor's men one by one. Silent, fast, merciless. The final confrontation. Finally, she reached the ground again. The smoke was clearing. Most of Viktor's men were down, unconscious, trapped, or running away. Only Victor stood waiting. He clapped slowly, mockingly. "Impressive, little Anna," he said. "But you forgot. I trained you. I know your every move." Anna circled him carefully. "Then you should know," she said quietly. "I always save a surprise for last." Victor laughed, then lunged. He was fast, faster than most men his age. But Anna was faster. They fought, hand to hand. Punches, kicks, blocks. Victor fought dirty, using knives, hidden tricks, anything to win. Anna fought smart, using speed, precision, and pure willpower. The fight moved across the warehouse, crashing into crates, kicking up dust. Each strike told a story. Years of betrayal, years of pain, years of survival. The moment of truth. At last, Victor pulled a hidden knife from his boot. He lunged forward, aiming for Anna's heart. But Anna sidestepped, grabbed his arm, twisted it, and slammed him against a metal pole. The knife clattered to the floor. Victor struggled, but Anna pinned him down. "You lost," she said coldly. Victor laughed weakly. "You'll never be free, Anna," he whispered. "Your past will always find you." Anna looked into his eyes once full of wisdom, now filled with hate. "Maybe," she said, "but I choose what comes next." She handcuffed him, tying him securely. Real police sirens echoed in the distance. Backup was coming. This time, Victor would answer for his crimes. A new dawn. Anna stepped out of the warehouse into the cool night. The rain had stopped. The air smelled fresh, clean, full of new chances. She watched as police cars arrived, agents surrounding the building, taking Victor into custody. He glared at her one last time as he was dragged away. Anna didn't blink. She had faced her past, and won. Moving forward. Later, sitting in a quiet cafe, Anna sipped a cup of black coffee. She pulled out her phone and sent a short message to her CIA contact. Mission complete. Target secured. Ready for next orders. A few seconds later, a reply buzzed in. "Rest first. You earned it." Anna smiled softly. For the first time in a long time, she felt light. The past could chase her. Enemies could plot. Darkness could return. But Anna was ready. Always ready. She was not just a survivor anymore. She was a fighter. And she was just getting started. The sun was rising slowly, painting the city in soft gold and orange colors. Anna stood at the edge of a tall hill, looking down at the quiet streets below. The world looked peaceful, so different from the chaos she had lived through. Her jacket fluttered lightly in the morning breeze. For the first time in many years, Anna felt free. The aftermath. It had been 2 days since Victor's arrest. The news channels exploded with the story. Top international criminal captured. Secret agent saves hundreds from dangerous plot. But Anna's name was never mentioned. That was the rule of her world. Heroes stayed in the shadows, and Anna liked it that way. She didn't want fame. She didn't want awards. She only wanted peace, a visit from the CIA. As Anna watched the sunrise, a black car rolled up behind her. A tall man in a dark suit stepped out. It was Agent Walker, one of the CIA's senior officers. He walked over and stood beside her. "Beautiful morning," he said. Anna nodded. They stood silently for a moment, both knowing what this meeting meant. Finally, Walker spoke. "You did good work, Anna. Victor was a ghost. We thought we lost him forever." Anna didn't answer. Walker continued, his voice serious. "Because of you, a lot of people are safe today." Anna turned slightly to look at him. "What happens now?" she asked quietly. Walker smiled slightly. "That's up to you." He handed her a small envelope. Inside was a plane ticket, a flight to anywhere she wanted. No orders, no missions, no chains. Freedom. "You've earned it," Walker said. "No more running. No more hiding. unless you choose to. Anna stared at the ticket, feeling the weight of it. The weight of choice, memories, and decisions. After Walker left, Anna sat down on the grass. She thought about her life. All the missions, all the lies, all the fights. She remembered the little girl she used to be, full of dreams and hope. She remembered the young woman who was betrayed, broken, but refused to give up. And now she had a chance to be something else. Someone else. She closed her eyes and listened to the wind. It whispered of new roads, new dreams, new beginnings. Goodbyes and promises. Anna returned to the safe house one last time. She packed only a few things. A photo of her parents, a small silver locket given by an old friend, and her skills, the only treasures she truly owned. Before leaving, she wrote a simple note and placed it on the table. I forgive you. I free myself. Goodbye, old life. Then she locked the door behind her, never looking back. A new journey. At the airport, Anna moved through the crowds easily. No one recognized her. No one knew her story. She was just another traveler, just another soul looking for a fresh start. As she sat by the window, waiting for her flight, a little girl ran past her, laughing happily. Anna smiled. That sound, pure and free, touched something deep inside her. She realized something important. Fighting, surviving, that wasn't her whole story. Living was. Loving was. Dreaming was. Final thoughts. As the plane took off, Anna looked out the window. The city grew smaller and smaller beneath her. The past was behind her now, scars and all. Ahead of her stretched a sky wide open, full of endless possibilities. She didn't know exactly where life would take her next. Maybe a small town where no one asked questions. Maybe a new country where she could build something new. Maybe even a chance to help others, using her skills for good, not just survival. Whatever it would be, Anna knew one thing. She was not the girl Victor tried to destroy. She was not the agent they tried to control. She was Anna. Strong, free, alive. And this time, her story was her own to write. Months passed. Anna found herself in a quiet town near the ocean. The streets were lined with small cafes, flower shops, and friendly faces. No secret agents, no dark missions, no gunfire in the night. Just peace. She rented a small, cozy house on the hill where she could hear the sound of the waves crashing every night. A different life. Every morning, Anna walked to the local bakery for coffee. The woman who owned it, Mrs. Harper, always greeted her with a warm smile and a fresh croissant. Anna even got a part-time job at the bookstore nearby, helping to organize shelves and recommend books to tourists. No one knew her past. No one asked questions. They only knew her as Anna, the quiet girl with the kind eyes, healing old wounds. At night, Anna sat on her porch, reading books she never had time for before. She listened to music. She learned how to paint. She even started writing in a small diary, something she hadn't done since she was a teenager. For the first time, Anna allowed herself to dream. Dream of a family. Dream of a life built on trust, not fear. Her scars were still there, inside and out, but they didn't control her anymore. They were just a part of her story, not the whole story. A letter from the past. One evening, as Anna returned home, she found a small envelope in her mailbox. There was no name, no return address, just a small, simple note inside. Some shadows never disappear, but some lights are strong enough to chase them away. You. Anna smiled. It was from Agent Walker, a silent reminder that her old life still existed somewhere out there. A silent promise that, if she ever needed help, she was not alone. A new mission. Weeks later, while closing the bookstore one evening, Anna noticed something strange. A man in a gray coat stood across the street, pretending to look at his phone. But he wasn't texting. He was watching her. Anna's instincts flared instantly. Old habits, hard to kill. She stayed calm, locked the bookstore, and walked home carefully, taking different streets, watching her surroundings. When she reached her porch, she found a small package on her doorstep. Inside was a phone. It buzzed the moment she touched it. A message flashed on the screen. Need your help. Urgent. Lives at risk. W. Anna stared at the message for a long time. She thought about her peaceful life, her new friends, the quiet mornings. Then she thought about the world, still full of dangers, still full of people who needed help. The choice. That night, Anna sat at her kitchen table. The phone lay in front of her like a heavy question. Would she return? Could she return? Finally, she made her decision. She typed one simple reply. Tell me where to go. The flame reignited. Anna packed a small bag, lighter than the ones she used to carry. She didn't need much anymore. Just her strength, her heart, and her will to fight for what was right. As she closed the door behind her, the town slept peacefully. They would never know the quiet woman among them had once saved hundreds, maybe thousands, and might do it again. The world outside was still dark, still dangerous, but Anna was ready, not as a broken soldier, not as a hunted agent, but as a woman who had survived everything and still chose to protect others. She stepped into the night, into her future, and this time it was on her own terms.